I'm Ariana Grande.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Erivo.
And you're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network.
Visit bpn.fm to discover more.
Hi, my name is Brandon Contreras. Welcome to the Theater Podcast with Alan Seals.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Theater Podcast with Alan Seals. That is me, Alan Seals, and I'm so glad you're joining us today because I had the absolute pleasure of sitting down with a true New Yorker, bringing so much heart and humor to the stage right now, Brandon Contreras. He is someone whose energy is kind of just infectious from the second you meet him, and we had a great time talking about what it was like growing up as a city kid, including the specific independence that comes with navigating the subway and, like learning to rollerblade long before ever touching a bicycle. We got into some really honest territory about his journey with identity and representation, and he shares a powerful story about his 11 auditions for In the Heights and what that was like to negotiate his first national tour contract while sitting in the back of a New Jersey Transit bus, only at 20 years old. He opens up about the importance of being unabashedly himself on stage, especially now in Operation Mincemeat, and when it comes to showing the delicate and sensitive sides of brown and queer individuals in the media. We also take a deep dive into the absolute madness, of course, that is Operation Mincemeat. He describes it as a final destination show where a single misplaced prop could lead to total chaos, and he walks us through the specific math required to make that comedy land every night. It's just a conversation about being bold and creative, and I just love it. It's great. Can't wait to share it with you. You can watch the video of this episode on Spotify or Patreon. Follow me on all the socials. You know what to do. Now, everybody, please enjoy this episode with Brandon Contreras.
Here you go. 1, 2, 3.
My guest today is a New York City born and raised creative whose energy and versatility have made him a standout on stages ranging from the Golden Globe Theater to New World stages. Graduate of Pace University, he made his Broadway debut in the original company of Almost Famous and has appeared in the first national tour of In the Heights, as well as Jerry Springer the Opera with the new group. And let's see, off-Broadway, he was Cal in the hit musical Titanique. He was in Road Show and Titanic at New York City Center Encores. Let's see, beyond the stage, he's a filmmaker, a writer, a co-creator, and created the award-winning sketch platform, the Homo Sapien Experience. Now you are appearing in Operation Mincemeat. Oh, Brandon Contreras. Brandon, welcome to Theater Podcast.
And thank you so much for having me. A long-time listener, first-time joiner. No, that is so funny to have
If you're from Virginia, you'd be a vajoiner.
Well done. It's one of those things where I was like having that read back to me, having my bio or my resume read back. I'm like, oh, I did do that. Oh, what a good time. Like it always just is astounding to me. I love it.
It's interesting to me because like people, they pay attention to Broadway. They pay attention to what's right there in front of them on like the big stage, right?
Sure.
But then,
yeah, we're all very, it's whatever's in front of us.
Right. But then like you were just saying, all of these things you did for years and years and years before making it to Broadway, making it to now starring in Mincemeat. Like you've got a journey. And so, I mean, that's why this podcast exists.
Yes. I mean, I love hearing about all the journeys that anytime someone is on here, it's like, it's a huge journey. And it's like, how do we get here from A to B to C to D to E?
Well, let's start it at B for born. Where you were born here.
Yeah, I was born in New York City.
In New York City. What part of New York were you born?
I lived in 3 different kinds of places. I lived in Chelsea, Hell's Kitchen, and the Upper West Side. And I like to say that my Upper West Side life was very much like the J-Lo's kid in Maid in Manhattan, where we lived in this luxury building. We were a lottery family in this luxury building, and then I would go hang out with my doorman, or I was a block away from my Catholic school, and then so I just had to live. And then my grandmother, that I was always babysat with every day, was in Chelsea on 17th, and then my other grandmother's on 51st, on 9th. So I kind of was everywhere. I'm just a city kid.
That's cool. And were you able to like go out on your own at a young age?
Yeah. I mean, not too far. Like we weren't, but we would take ourselves to school sometimes, or if we were in Chelsea, we would go walk around the West Village. But I have an older sister, and I have older cousins who were very much in charge of that. I was at the helm of them. So if they wanted to do something, we could do something. Or if I wanted to go to the park across the street, they had to go to the park. Go to the park across the street.
I mean, I grew up in like when I was little in Florida and then in North Carolina for like my formative years and whatnot.
Mhm.
And so I always, like Stranger Things brought back a lot of nostalgia. The
Oh,
show,
sure,
right? Because
yeah.
it's like centered around the 80s and you know, all this time when kids could just literally ride your bike. You just
Yeah.
go out and you're just like, all right, be back by sundown. And so now as a dad myself, having a fourth grader and a fifth grader, our fifth grader is now taking the subway by himself to and from school. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. That's always because it's
Okay.
two easy stops.
Yes.
And so it took some convincing for my wife to let my wife to let me
Yeah.
let him do that.
Of course.
So it's one of those things where I don't know.
New York, it's also just a different place. It's a different animal. Kids raised in New York City are built different. They're just built
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's a wild thing. It's the self independence and stamina and vigor is incredible. So the fact that your kid is taking the subway, just even 2 stops, it's 2 more stops than anyone in the middle of Florida would ever take.
That is fair.
5th grade.
But and the other side of that coin, he doesn't know how to ride a bike. So,
Sure. So it's let's give and take.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
Well, funny enough, when we moved to Jersey, we ended up moving to Jersey. I didn't know how to ride a bike until Jersey as well. But random enough, I did learn how to rollerblade here in the city. That was a very big thing in the 90s.
Yes.
Rollerblading. My dad is an incredible rollerblader. He also ice skates. Like he does a lot of cool things. But I learned how to rollerblade before I learned how to bike ride here in the city. That was just the thing.
I loved rollerblading. I played street hockey when I was a kid.
I'm so bad at
little
it.
streaky. It was
So bad at it.
streaky?
Straight.
Little streaky?
I played Little Streaky when I was a kid.
There comes little streaky. Not wearing any clothes again. Damn it. Okay, so then you moved to New Jersey. Like, were you always around the performing arts though, or when did you get into it?
I got into it because my sister, actually. My sister is the big reason why I got into theater because we didn't have theater and things like that here in the city. So when we moved to New Jersey, we were able to have a little more access to a lot of things. And she started doing musicals, and I wanted to be just like her. She's iconic. She still is iconic to this day. And she started doing it, and then I fell in love with it. I just loved watching her on stage and watching stories. And I was always a Disney kid too, so I learned how to sing with Disney movies. I was always singing, I was always dancing, I was always moving, but I didn't really have a place to put it until later in life. And so middle school and high school were like the years I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm only going to do this. There is no other option. It was very wild. So I've always kind of been gravitating towards it, but it really didn't flock until I got into New Jersey.
What was it? Was it a show? Was it a group of people? Like, when did you know this is it?
I remember watching my sister in rehearsals for her High School Musical. They were doing
the series, the musical.
Yeah,
series?
the High School,
Yes.
the musical, the series, the musical.
Yeah.
She was doing King and I then, and it was like in the 90s, and they were doing King and I in the middle of New Jersey, and she was just singing. She was just like rehearsing a song. She was singing. She was an understudy, and I just remember watching her in rehearsal, and I was not allowed to be there because I was not in her high school yet. So I was babysat. She brought me to the high school. I sat in the back, and I watched her rehearse, and I was like, that's incredible. This is wonderful. I want to do this. And she was just magical. She was beautiful. She had the most stunning voice, and that's how I kind of that's like the thing that I remember that triggered the love I have for it.
So your parents, I guess, were okay with your sister doing it, and then you want to
God.
come. Like, were they encouraging of all of this?
I have the best parents in the world. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I mean it. They were the best. They were so supportive always, and they always knew. And my sister had so many things. I mean, if my sister wanted to learn the violin, she could pick it up and learn it tomorrow. And they would be like, sure, whatever you want to do. Like, she was just so good at that.
Yeah.
And I tried that. I wasn't good at sports too much. I wasn't really good at painting or art. Like I tried so many things, but I just knew what I wanted to do. And I just like focused all my time and energy on that. And they were like, yeah, sure. If this is what you want to do, then this is what you want to do. Let's do it. And they believed in me, and they thought I was good. And that is also the most impressive thing to me is like my parents, who are like filled with arts and culture, being New Yorkers, being Latin, like they know, they're not going to lie to me, they liked me. They thought I was good. And that was like, that fueled my fire. If they think that I'm good and they support me in my dreams, then, oh, great. Then I'm unstoppable. It was the best.
And you were always singing or dancing or acting?
I was always
or
singing.
all of it?
I was mostly singing always. And then I was always dramatic, I guess. So I was always acting in some way. And then, I started dancing, and I was a much heavier kid. So I didn't like growing up. So I was always afraid of dancing. I always had this fear of dancing that I wasn't good enough or was too big enough, or, also like the shame that comes around, body dysmorphia when you're a kid or when you're in these dance studios,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's horrible.
Surrounded by mirrors.
Yeah, and it's also like what people expect you to look like if you were a dancer. And so I kind of strayed away from that as much as I loved it. And now it's a huge passion of mine. And now I still focus on it. It's a big part of my other art that I create. But yeah, I've mostly focused on singing. I always had a song in my heart. It was great.
Do you have entrance music that you walk into in your head? I feel like everyone should have their own entrance
It's
music.
definitely different. It's always different, but it's usually something J-Lo. It's usually something J-Lo. That's my girl. I will always stand by my girl, Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the block. But yeah, it always depends. I always mix it up. Sometimes it's just a little silly musical. It's always great.
And then, okay, so you're starting performing. Your parents are supporting you. Ended up at Pace.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I knew that we wanted to come back to the city. I wanted to come back to the city. This was the only place for me. I wasn't going to go to the middle of nowhere. And I auditioned. I only auditioned for 3 schools. I auditioned for Pace, UArts, and Montclair. And I got into all 3. And that was great. But I was like, I want to go to Pace. And it was the most expensive. It was so great. But I worked on so many scholarships. And I really financially, I did it all just to make it. I was like, I needed to go to New York City. So I made it there. And that's where I laid. I met some of the best people of my life there. My friends are still my closest friends to this day from college. The connections I made, it was a hard experience for sure. It definitely taught me a lot about myself and the self-determination. And I met a lot of really wonderful people and teachers there. But there was a lot of harm there at Pace University. But I took from it what I could. I learned, I worked hard. And while I was still in school, I booked my first national tour. And that was...
You were still in school when you got that?
Yeah, I was going into my junior year of college when I auditioned for In the Heights.
So when you got that, was the school understanding? I've talked to people who were like, no, school comes first and then you audition.
No, they were very open. I mean, you had to ask for permission a lot of the time. And funny enough, that time that I wanted to go to the audition, first of all, I auditioned for In the Heights 11 times. 11 times. I was determined to be in that show, and I was going to do anything to be a part of it. I'm a very self-determined human, very independent. Some might call me delusional, but I just a different way of looking at things. But I auditioned for In the Heights 11 times, and by the 11th time, I got my first call back. And I remember asking permission to leave a class to go to this audition, and they actually, my director at the time, she said no. She was like, I don't think that you're ready for this. I don't think that you're up to par with the standards of being in a show like this. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so then I went anyway. And I skipped class and I went and I got my first call back and I danced and I stayed. And then we didn't hear anything. I guess they weren't looking for people then. But then during the summer happened. So 2.5 months later, I got a call on a Monday to come in on a Wednesday to dance. And it was only 5 of us. And I don't know how I did it, but I went in that room. I booked it right on Old Telsey and 43rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
And
this building.
Yeah, this building. Oh my God.
It's this building.
Wow. This is wild. Yeah. It's so it was, I went there and I remember I was staying at my parents in Jersey in the summer. So I took the bus in, and as I was sitting there, waiting in Port Authority, I get the call 20 minutes after I leave the audition that I booked it. And so I'm running around all of the lobby of Port Authority screaming that I booked the first national tour of In the Heights. And I was 20 years old. And so I'm running around, and then cut to, I didn't have an agent. I didn't know what I was doing. So here I am, in the back of the bus of a New Jersey Transit bus, right in the middle of the aisle, squished in between people. I'm negotiating my own contract, because I started in 3 weeks. And so I'm negotiating my own contract on the bus at 20 years old, not knowing. And this is more money than I've ever seen in my life. But here I was. And that was my start while I was in school. I had to take a leave of absence. I had to ask permission. I had to transfer so many things. I lost a few scholarships, the math that I had to do to try to make it work. So
wow.
I ended up taking the first semester off. I took a halt to my first semester.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up taking winter intersession, while I was on the road, winter classes
sure.
at Rutgers. So I paid credits out of pocket at Rutgers University so that they can transfer because they were too expensive at Pace. I couldn't afford classes at Pace.
Yeah.
One credit was like $7,000.
Yeah.
So I couldn't afford that. So I took transferable classes. I took like 8 credits during winter intersession while I was still on the road. And then I was back in 18 credits online my spring semester for Pace University.
Wow.
So I was a swing then. So I'd be off stage writing an essay and I was like, oop, or I'd be in math class. I remember I took nighttime math class. I'm like, oop, gotta run. And then I'd watch The Club, black out The Club. And then I'd come back and be like, sorry guys, had to work. Like it did not make sense, but I was fully in school at 20 years old with my first job.
That's crazy cool.
It was the most incredible life. Some of like these people that I met are family. They're the most wonderful humans that I'll ever meet. The most like my Latin family, my start of my career.
That show, I mean, in and of itself, opened up so many doors for so many
yeah.
people. And
Absolutely.
I mean, I was hearing Mandy Gonzalez the other day talking about exactly this.
The Beast, the People's Princess. Yeah, Mandy Gonzalez. Yeah, and I met her a few years ago. We were singing for this, this like random gig luncheon, and I remember meeting her and being like, "Hi, you changed my life?" Question mark. And I remember she was singing "Breathe" at this thing at this like gig luncheon, and she's like, "I almost made you sing backup for me." And I just remember laughing at her because it was just like, I'm talking, and now I love her. I see her, I love her. She's one of the best human beings in the entire world.
Don't you love that when people that you have looked up to for so long end up being just as good or better than you hoped they would be?
Oh gosh, it's the best. I have so many people in my life like that. So many people. I remember meeting people like Raul Esparza, who I love, who's a friend, who's best guy in the world. Nathan Lee Graham is another one who was on your podcast, who I just remember seeing in movies, being a gay icon. And then now we're making sex jokes on stage in Titanique with each other. Like we're playing lovers. We're playing lovers on stage in Titanique. And I'm like, how did I get here? Like you meet the people that you're like, oh, please be the best person that I know you can be. And then there are more. I don't get it. It brings me so much joy.
I love that. So you talked about kind of the lack of Latin representation as well, but then like you're very vocal now about queer representation, as well. So like being a Latin queer individual, you speak on that.
Sorry, I just perked up because it brings me so much joy.
Good,
yeah,
yes.
It's so important. We don't like the tale as old as time. We can't be what we can't see, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see people like me. I didn't see brown boys with curly hair. I didn't see, queer boy, like, like on TV, on stage, like the lack of Latin leading men now on stage, like it is astounding. I mean, I talk about this a lot about my hair, about my journey with my curly hair. It's like when I was in college, I was told that I couldn't be a leading man if I had hair like this.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, you also were told that you were too fat, you were too this, you were too tall, you were too short. Like, it still happens, but like, yeah. And so I remember like I would shave my head, I would gel my head, I would cut my hair into submission so that I would hide these curls. Like, and it sounds silly now, but and there's so much misrepresentation in hair of color. And so, particularly the Black woman in this business. And so, things like that, like representation, like I never really got to see myself in things like that on stage. And now I'm playing a role. My hair supervisor and designer, Ben Stones, and then my hair supervisor, Maddie Wilson, they knew it was important to me to have my hair curly and out, and very important so that someone can look up and see someone like me. And with the queerness of it all too, it's just, we are such a determined people. And we are look at the country today. We are constantly under attack. Our rights are under attack. It is not a laughing matter. It is happening right now. There are people from around the world queer people from around the world are being told not to come to the United States. So it is so important to me that I present myself proudly. And I'm queer. I'm very fluid, both in binary and in sexuality. So it is very important to me to exist as that. And then if people decide to enter my world or follow me or anything like that, that's the least that I can do is just be myself. And like I just like hope that someone could look up on stage and see that and say, I can do that. Because for me, it was my sister. For me, it was someone who was a part of me.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and so I was very lucky and fortunate that it was someone that I was related to. And I hope that I can just be a small part in someone's life. Because even bringing it back to In the Heights, I remember I was at a family party and I was holding my baby cousin. I was babysitting my baby cousin and I was watching the Tonys. It was the first time I'd ever seen the opening into the 96,000, mixtape part of it. And I was just like, what? People, that's me. I listen to that. That's music that I love. I look like them. And so I remember sitting there, I was like, oh, I'm going to be in that show, but I need to do this. Like it is the foundation of who I am and what I want to do and what I make, and the things outside of theater that I make too are so important. And like my platform, the Homo Sapien Experience with my best friend. With my best friend, Matt Curiano, who is right now currently in Masquerade, the hottest ticket in town.
Oh, so
I know.
Good.
It's so important for us to be ourselves, because I mean, even now, queer people aren't played by queer people, and it's astounding to me. It still is astounding to me that I can be shamed and shamed for my femininity or my masculinity about this, and then not be able to play myself or all the parts of me in media. Wild. Bananas.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to the episode. And now you're in a show where you get to do everything.
I get to do everything. I'm like
Mincemeat is everything.
Is the most fluid show in the world. The binary, the non-binary. It's like, I mean, my character, I say he's like asexual. He doesn't really have a sexuality. He's just all about science, and he just wants a friend. But it's not about that. But it is so. Everything about it is fluid. The storytelling, the in and outs, the characters. I get to play so many people, genders, types. It's just the best. So like, I get to live my dream and like what I so boldly stand for in the show that I'm currently in. Dreams.
Do you have a favorite character?
I do. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. I joke about this, but it is one of my favorite characters. It is on stage for 10 seconds. I cross from stage right to stage left in Act 2 in a song called Act As If. And I make her. She's a German waiter. Her name is Hilda. She grabs some glasses and she gets out of there. But she has a dark past,
She's got a whole backstory.
She has a whole backstory, and I just crossed for 10 seconds. I've been told like, hey, don't pull, and I'm like, yes, got it on it. But she's been through a lot. But that's my favorite character, Hilda. And this is not Spit Lip certified. This is me. I made her. This is who I made. Okay, Spit Lip, I love you so much, but this is the character that I made in this 10-second cross. That's my favorite character.
That's funny. And so you started out when it opened on Broadway as a swing.
Yeah, as one of the understudies. Yep.
As an understudy, right. So just massive shout out again to swings understudies.
Like I need to, absolutely. Right now at the building we have my dear siblings, Sam Hartley and Jerry Ann Perez, the one and only. Mm-hmm. We have Allison Quinn, the Broadway legend, comedian, clown, Robert Orisa, who is just my Colombian little brother, just the best. And then finally we have my best friend, my real life best friend, who I've known for 14 years of my life, Lexi Rabati, who is, I don't know how I got to be in a show with my best friend, my actual best friend, and do a show with her once a week.
That's got to be so cool.
It's the best, it's the biggest, wonderful dream of my life. And so they are also there too. And now I'm on stage with my other fellow understudies, Amanda Jo Robinson and Jesse Kirtley.
So this is a show that is so fast paced, and even the principal characters are the main characters, not the understudies and swings, are constantly on and off, constantly going all over the place, constantly switching characters. So as an understudy, did you have to cover multiple tracks? Yeah. So the two like male identifying like people in the show, it just doesn't really matter with the gender of it all, but we have a primary cover and then a secondary. So my primary was Charlie and my secondary was Hester. I went on for Hester like 9 times in November around then, but since then I've never been on again. I never went on again, but I got to do Hester 9 times, which is the biggest dream of my life. Well, my question was like, because keeping all of that straight in your head as one character, as one person, but then you have to do more than one track.
It's astounding. It's bananas. It's dangerous. I call this show the Final Destination show. I say this often. I say this in every interview. I want to be very clear. I'm going to use your can. If your can's supposed to be there and it's there, 12 people are going to die backstage. 12 people are going to die backstage.
If it's 2 inches.
If it's 2 inches, it really is. They created a monster, but that's why it's so successful. And that's why it's so incredible. But it is one of the most specific, craziest shows that I've ever done in my life. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And understudying that show is crazy. Crazy.
The anxiety I would have had.
Like I even as me right now as Charlie, I don't really breathe until the final like 30 seconds of the show. Because they're like towards the end of the show, where it's everything's calmed down. We're learning about the man who we used. Even that's still lyric heavy, and I cannot mess that up. That's the most important thesis of the show.
Right.
So I didn't even get a break until then because I'm so focused on the words. I'm still nervous about it, and it's only until the final, Sail On Boys that I'm like, what a time. 2 hours and 40 minutes later, look at me. Yeah, it is. So we don't get to relax.
Do you feel less stress now knowing you're going to go in every night, but with the fatigue of 8 shows a week?
Yes,
or
I feel good about going in every night, but now it's the every day.
Yeah,
it's the fatigue of it all.
Is it still there?
Yeah, you wake up and you're like, oh, great, cool. Even coming here, I was like, what great, I'll never sing again. I'll do this podcast and then I'll never sing again. And then, like it doesn't stop, people. It does not stop. But it is really, it's a different kind of anxiety. We all know it. Everyone has it. But it's building the stamina. And so luckily I'm getting these licks in, which is great. It's been, almost 2 months, a month and a half since the new cast takeover.
Yeah.
And so now I'm building the stepping stones, the building blocks for the longevity of the run, which is really nice.
Yes. I think, it takes a while to get into a rhythm, especially like if something like this that is so fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. Did you have to adjust anything about what you thought the track of Charlie would be going into Charlie? Because like you were understudying Charlie, and being an understudy is different, right? And you can, but like when you are the one going in every night and you're there 8 shows a week, like did you have to adjust for your own mindset of like, I got to do this differently?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This show is so specific. You're also doing this show with the writers and creators of this show, the originators. So comedy is math. It is math. It's this, laugh, set up. So you have geniuses who have been doing this for 7 years. So, if I'm saying a line wrong, I should probably maybe trust someone who thought about this line. So, and also you're doing with different people, even as the in and outs of the understudy. So everyone is so different. So you kind of have to learn 25 different shows.
Yeah.
And so it is a mind-blowing thing to go on because I know that, like Zoe Roberts, there's a big briefcase scene. Zoe Roberts does the briefcase differently than Amanda Jill Robinson does. And then also Jerry Ann Perez, second cover, does the briefcase differently. So it is, and then she says this joke differently. He says that joke differently. I say this joke. I have to set up my joke for Monty. I have to do this. And then now we have a new cast. So it all changes all over again. Now I have to get used to new blood, but they also have to get used to me because I've been doing this for a year. I just celebrated my 115th performance or something.
Wow.
Yeah, 120th or anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all math. And we like to say, especially with comedy, they would say, take it to the lab, which is the audience. And we would take it to the lab and we'd say, didn't work this time. What are the mice going to eat tomorrow? And that's what we do. So for me, that's like me now is taking it to the lab every night because I'm getting used to this version of Charlie now.
Well, when you're in a comedy, the final character is always the audience because you don't have a comedy without people laughing at it. Mm-hmm. So you've got to play off that and see what works and get the timing.
Absolutely.
And like, do you go too big? Do you wait? I love when actors they've perfected the art of saying nothing. So the laugh comes and it dies down and then it just builds back up again because people can think about what they just laughed at.
And this show invites that. Show invites that. We also there are a few moments where you break the fourth. Monty breaks the fourth wall a lot, but there are moments in the show that things have gone astray. But that's the kind of energy of the show. It's like 5 people getting together to tell the story. So we're very unserious about it until we are serious about it. So it invites that pause, that invitation for the audience, which the only other show I've been a part of like that kind of is Titanique. So luckily
Yeah.
I've had two hilarious shows that invite this audience in a very, very specific way.
I feel like Titanique too, it's very, very queer culture focused.
Oh my
I mean,
God,
obviously, because written by Marla and
Yeah,
Bonnie
Marla and
Ty.
Ty, yeah. And Nick
yeah.
and Nicholas Connell, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like they very much are just like, they were writing for each other.
Yeah, they were queer people writing for each other to make each other laugh. That's how they
To make fun of musical theater.
Like it was, and that specifically the queerness of it all too. That was the first time in my career where I had found a role so close to myself and so fully in who I am, and like the hyper masculine, which I love, and the hyper feminine that I love, and the fluidity of that, and the queerness. That was mind blowing. And I do have to plug this just because it is important for self reflection, and I want other people who listening to this might be self reflective. But that was like the first time in my career where I had played like the guy, the hot guy, the attractive guy that's gonna get the girl. Like that was. Other than that, I had never felt really attractive or desired or handsome or in any role or that, like I was, so. Yeah. That was one of the most affirming things of my life. That helped me so much outside of my career that I like it. I will never be able to thank them enough for that, and just to see myself in that way. Like, yeah. And that was about the queerness of it all and the logistics of it all. That just changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my career.
Right. Yeah, I feel like you have to bring yourself to the role, and if you bring enough of yourself to the role sticks with you.
Sure.
The role that you create, or the character that you create, whether you're originating it or not,
sure,
is going to stick with you if you put yourself that much into it.
Yeah. And I go to these auditions, and I'm like, if I wasn't being seen as the guy, the hot guy, the attractive guy, at the end of the show, whatever person is going to kiss you at the end of the show, like if I wasn't playing those roles often, how could I see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I wasn't seeing, brown people on stage doing that too, brown boys on stage with curly hair doing that too, how was I going to see that? And also I've been so many different weights to my life. So when was it my turn? And then finally it was my turn. And I was like, it's happening. Everyone calm down. It's happening. I get to play this role. So it was the most affirming thing, one of the most affirming things in my career. And this as well, but these two shows in particular were the most affirming.
And when did you get into producing and filmmaking and that side?
Oh, that. So
that little thing?
Oh, that little tiny thing. So that started around 7 years, like that, the Homo Sapien Experience with my best friend, Matt Cariano. Honestly, what happened is, and he kind of definitely started this, and we'd always wanted to make things together, make funny content, and he bought a camera. And at that point, I was traveling a lot for regional work. There were 7 years in my career where I was not here in New York City. I was bipping around all over the country in these wonderful regional theaters.
Bipping and
bopping, and so I would come back, do a few things, and then leave. And then finally, like I was back for a while. We made it a thing. We were like, let's do it. And and Homo Sapien Experience has definitely shifted into what it's become now. It had come as like this sketch platform, like this sketch, almost like this online SNL. Like we play different characters, everything, current events. But now it's shifted into so much. We're writers, where we are commissioned to write. We want to write scripted shows and movies and things like that. And we are now, we're doing short form videos. We've become the internet's best friends. It's so many things. And that's like another big passion of ours. So we started that because we wanted to be what we couldn't see. We wanted to see queer representation, queer people playing queer people, and also to not take our community so seriously. We just wanted to laugh at each other. There's this how we view ourselves, how we're perceived a lot of the time, because we're constantly harmed, right? And so it's self-protection. But we wanted to allow people to feel safe enough to be ridiculous, be silly, be problematic in our own ways, like how I am, or Maddie is. And so it allows us to give permission to other people to be themselves and to be outwardly queer and stupid.
That is very cool. That's really neat. I like that. Again, you're going. You were saying so many times that you're a self-driven person or self-determined person, that you created this whole medium just to have more of a way of expression and give your friends and give everybody else like a way to see themselves and a way to just get out there and create things.
Oh, absolutely. And also our friends too, like giving our friends access to things they don't have access to. Like, oftentimes let's say people want to collaborate with us or want to write something with us. So like, great, what do you want to do? Like, it's most like, what is there a character that you'd like to play? Like, and we're giving you the option to be what you want to do what you want to do and be what you want to be. So we'll just use that. We'll use our platform for good. So show us. So and then we write something out, we collaborate. And so we have so many friends like that. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, that we call them our series regulars. We have our series regulars, we have our reoccurrings that come in our lives. But if we have a group of like 12 best friends, our family, and I mean, we can text and be like, hey, I need to borrow your dog for this sketch. Like, great, I'll have 12 to 2. Like, hey, one of my friends is a makeup artist. I'm like, hey, can you do our special effects makeup? Like, they are also our producers. They are also we've created this community of people that it's so much more than the Homo Sapien Experience. That's what the Homo Sapien Experience is. We like to tell stories about the human experience with the emphasis on Homo.
What is your end goal for that? Do you want to sell it to a network? Do you want to keep going?
Well, I mean, the concept of the Homo Sapien Experience is like lives as it is, but we have dreams of writing our own shows. We like scripted shows or movies. That's a big dream of ours, is to continue to collaborate, make sketches, and there's so much online content now, but we would love, so many content creators now have their own shows on Hulu, Netflix, and they're scripted series. We would love a series. That's our dream. We would love to write a movie. We would love to be in this. Like, it's so magical. We just want access to get it out there to people. Excuse me. And that's our dream. Yeah, we would love that.
Well, put it out there. Say it's already happening.
It's already in the works.
Happening. It's already in the works.
It's already in the works. We're working hard. We're working so hard. And here's the thing about content creation: there is no rhyme or reason. Mm-mm. There is nothing. Like, there are some videos that we're like, this is gonna nail it, everyone. We're gonna make it, and then nothing happens. And then something that we just post on a Tuesday at 9 a.m. It's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, there's no rhyme or reason, and there's no rhyme or reason how other people get picked up as well. We are graciously patient and waiting for our moment in the sun too. But we're also having a lot of fun while we're doing it. So we're great. We're having a
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to the episode. I enjoyed, if you can make yourself laugh, if you can make each other laugh. Go back to the Titanique example. If you're having fun, other people are going to have fun with you.
That's our dream.
Because you can see it. You're capturing that.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to put that into the characters, put that into the sketches, and just have fun with the friends who you love.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come.
We've met so many people doing it too. We've met so many other content creators, so many other writers, so many other actors, producers. Even organization presidents. Even outside of just theatrical and entertainment, we've met so many different kinds of philanthropists. We've met so many different kinds of queer people who just want to support other queer people, the queer community. And it's not just queer people as well. We are the human experience. We are everybody. We are everything, everywhere, all at once. And so that is actually the biggest gift that we've gotten from this, are the people that we've collected and the friends that we've made. And a big reason Maddie and I talk about it is that we just wanted people to feel included. We didn't feel included, and we were very lonely in our high school, and that's why we wanted to create something so that people didn't feel less lonely.
I love that.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me that you wanted to talk about this.
Do you get a lot of positive feedback, or I guess what's the different types of feedback between Homo Sapien Experience and like Titanique versus Mincemeat, right? Like, it seems like it's three relatively different crowds.
Yeah, but it's so funny. There's so many people from Titanique that have went over to Operation Mincemeat for people like me who have joined the ranks, and that's really special. But it's all very different kinds of people. I would say that the Homo Sapien no, here's the kicker. They are all kind of connected. Titanique and the Homo Sapien Experience are very connected in a way that's queer joy, queer elaborate joy, and also friends getting together to create something.
Yeah.
And then also what people like Spitlip created too, these writers who had a dream, wanted to make each other laugh, same as people like Titanique, wanted to make each other laugh, wrote this thing, and then now they're doing it. And it's so, I think they're all in some sort of way, in this cosmic way, how I've been blessed to be a part of these things where it was, the foundation of it started from something beautiful. It started from creative people wanting to be creative, wanting to laugh. And I don't know how I got so lucky being in two of the most wonderful projects of my life, but they all connect in some sort of way, and all parts of me as well. The queer part, the masculine, the feminine, the writer part of me, the comedic side of me, and then specifically in Operation Mincemeat, which is really important to me, is the delicate side of me, the fragile side of me, the little boy in me, the nerd in me, something that I also want to see too is brown people, brown men or boys or however I'm perceived on stage, be delicate, be fragile, be sensitive. That's a big passion of mine. It's I play a lot of dark, twisted characters, but I always love to put in this delicate side of them for a certain reason. It's a big dream of mine and all my projects.
That's really interesting because usually a brown person in a TV or film or whatever, they're the thug, they're the bad guy. They don't have feelings.
But most of early in my career, getting out of college, that was about it. And there's also nothing wrong with any of there's nothing wrong with different kinds of people and brown people playing different kinds of people in this industry. Just like there's it's not about me having a Spanish accent on TV and film that's bad. No, that's not bad. It's embarrassing to speak two different languages. Ha ha ha, joke's on you. Of course I can have an accent on camera, but it's in the way that it's being perceived or how it's being used, right? That's the most important part of that. So for me, I would love to show another side in the media that we don't really technically see all the time.
That's beautiful.
A romantic parts of me. It's a big foundation of what I want to do in my career.
And now you've got the platform to create that.
I do, and I want to keep going. And Operation Mincemeat definitely is the biggest stepping stone of my career in that way. And I hope I can use these powers for good. I hope I can. This can lead to beautiful things and beautiful collaborations.
It will.
Yeah,
it will. It's going to.
Of course,
it's going
to. It can only if the good can only amount more good. This is all good.
Good mean more good.
More good. Yeah, of course. It's all
good mean more good.
Good mean more good.
Good mean more good. Okay. So let's wrap up here and we'll start playing plot in 60 seconds.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So I've got 1 through 17 listed in front of me, 17 musicals.
Okay.
Pick from my list 1 through 17. I'll tell you what you chose and then you give me the plot in 60 seconds or less.
Okay. All right.
1 through 17.
Okay, 1 through 17. 7.
7 is Hamilton. Go.
60
oh my
seconds
gosh.
remaining.
This man, Lin-Manuel Miranda, wants to write a musical. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Let me do this. And he invites all his iconic friends to tell the story about
plot points.
Plot points. And then he invites, this is very important. And then he creates this about Alexander Hamilton, who was immigrant who helped create the government that we know now. And he also has an affair and it's crazy. And he is the right-hand man to George Washington, and he helped establish the Treasury. And
30 seconds remaining.
Oh my God, this countdown in my ear is crazy. And also, crazy American war happens, and he meets a lot of people. And wow, it's funny enough, I did the mixtape of this, and I still don't know. It's crazy.
15 seconds remaining.
And then he changes American government. Boom. I did it. I think I did it.
Yeah.
I think I did it really well.
You did it so well.
I think I did that really
great. I like how
great.
the plot starts out with Lin-Manuel
It
Miranda.
does. Listen, for my boy, Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's it.
That someone's going to write the Lin-Manuel memoir musical.
I think that absolutely should happen. That man has a fascinating life.
Right.
Wonderful.
Right?
Good man.
Good man. All right, so 3 standard closing questions. First one simply is what motivates you?
Oh gosh, this is gonna be so woo. Love motivates me. I like my love for for people, for this business, my love, a love for the things around me, for my art, and how I want people to succeed. It's my love for people and like for things, for nouns, people, places, and things, right? I want them all to succeed and grow. And that's what motivates me. It's like the love that I have for either this thing that I'm doing, this person that I love, this art that I'm creating. I think that to me is the first thing that came to my mind.
Love for nouns of the world.
Love for nouns
Love for
of
the
the world.
nouns.
But yeah, I think love.
What advice would you give to your younger self and younger people listening now, starting out down a similar path?
You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. That's what I would say to myself. I would say to myself is everything's going to be fine. I would say you are loved. You will always be loved. You have friends. You will always have friends. You will never be alone. And what I would say to younger people is I would say always be yourself. And I would say my favorite quote that I've been living by is be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. And that's a quote that I live by. And I just think that's true. And I just have been in my year of being a brave little toaster. That's what I call it. It's been my year of being a brave little toaster. I must be brave for myself, for the people that I love. And I think that people, the younger generation, they're already doing it now. I think that they're the future. I think they're going to help us move us forward. So I think that they have many things to tell me, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, I'd say be unabashedly yourself and be bold because mighty forces will come to your aid.
I like that. What did, what's the same question I just asked you? Okay. If you could only see one show for the rest of your life, but you can see it as many times as you want, what would you see?
That's wild. You asked that. That's wild that you asked that question. I can't pick one. Can I pick 3?
Okay.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Alan. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate it. It has to be In the Heights, one.
Yep.
That's always been one. 4. I'm going to pick 4.
Okay.
Life's hard, Alan.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is your episode.
I'm sorry. This is just how it goes. It has to be Light in the Piazza, Sunday in the Park with George, and Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
Those are 4 good ones.
Yeah. I mean, Kiss of the Spider-Woman is everything that I dream of being and doing and being, So it is Sunday in the Park too. They're just all, but they're all so different, but they all mean so much to the canon of musical theater.
Yeah.
I can't not say them.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Where can we find you online, connect with you, see you in Mincemeat?
You can find me online at ohey_Brandon or at the Homo Sapien Experience. And you can find me at the Golden Theater in Operation Mincemeat.
Hells yeah. You can get me on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm around. Leave a rating. Leave a review. Help spread the word. Thanks to welcometotimesquare.com for the use of this studio.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to Jukebox the Ghost for the intro and outro music that our listeners are hearing now. And Brandon, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Alan. It's the best. Thank you.
Take a deep breath, make the world a little colorful.